All right, guys, we're getting into the fun stuff, okay? Not the awesome stuff at the very end, but this is the fun stuff, okay? PvP specs. So if you guys saw my last video, the SL spec is one that I was showing off. This is slightly different than the one I was showing, but Soul Link is such an awesome talent. It is fantastic. And I think it's one of the reasons why I wanted to play a Warlock in PvP. So this is the spec. You start off in the Affliction tree with some improved corruption, reduces the casting time of your corruption spell by 2 seconds. That makes it instant cast. You can be running around, boom, casting those spells. Improved life tap is just good because, usually you tap for more than, you're tapping all the time to get more mana because you ran out. So it's just going to speed up the rate at which you get that mana back. It's an important talent for both PvP and you know what. So, Demonology. Alright, improved health stone, that's a must. Makes total sense, you're going to want to get more health. Demonic Embrace, get that stamina. It's fantastic. Spirit is not really needed in PvP. Improved Voidwalker. This is important, especially if you're going to be rolling with the Voidwalker out, which you should against all those physical damage dealing classes. It's going to make your Voidwalker do a lot more benefit to you with the sacrifice, right? So you pop that shield, it's like 2.5k health you just get instantly. It's fantastic. Okay. Fell Domination. Get a second Voidwalker really fast, pretty much. Or your first one if you had a different pet out and you need a shield really quick. Fell Stamina. Gets more health. Gets more damage. Master Summoner. Fantastic. Basically you need it in order to get that really quick demon summoned. Demonic Sacrifice. Pretty much never going to use this in PvP, I imagine. Can't think of any reason why you would. At this time, maybe in the future. Master Demonologist. If you guys saw my other video, dude, I went crazy over this talent. I went crazy because Master Demonologist is so friggin' awesome. Reduce physical damage taken by 10%, and then of that damage you take, 30% of that is then shared with your Voidwalker. Dude, what more could you want? Like, that is so awesome. Or you could get a Succubus, increase damage by 10% if people aren't going for you, or Fell Hunter, which I would choose as my other option. Increase all resistances by 1 per level. Never have the imp. Okay. Never have the imp. Wait, what? Reduces threat caused by 20%. This is PvP, boys. PvP. Okay. Improve Spellstone. Increases the amount of damage absorbed by your Spellstone by 30%. This is a pretty good talent. It already absorbs, I think, like 900 in addition to removing all magical effects, including your Voidwalker's sacrifice ability. So listen to me when I tell you, do not pop your Spellstone when you friggin' got the sacrifice on. Aight? Okay, cool. Glad we talked about that. Because that's not going to go well for you. You're not going to be happy. You're going to lose your shield, and you're going to die. You're going to die. So, don't do that. Soul Link. This is it, guys. This is the talent. 30% of all damage taken by the caster is taken by your Imp, Voidwalker, Succubus, or Fell Hunter Demon instead. In addition, both the Demon and the Master inflict 3% more damage. Take it. You need that 3% because you're not going to be doing a ton of... You're not going to have this Shadow Mastery, and you're not going to have Ruin some of these really strong talents. So you're going to need that 3%. Alright, cool. Cataclysm. It's good because, I mean, you're going to be life tapping for mana. So it's good to reduce the cost of your destruction spells, pumping out those Shadow Bolts when you need them. And then Bane. Reduce that cast time of that Shadow Bolt and Immolate. You will be using Immolate most likely in PvP if you get counterspelled, hard counterspelled. Really quickly, a soft counterspell is when you're not casting a spell and someone casts counterspell on you and you can't use any schools of magic for 4 seconds. A hard counterspell is when someone hits you while you're casting a spell and then the school of magic that spell was being casted in is now locked out for 8 seconds, okay? But if that's too complicated for you, don't worry. Just know, like, if you get counterspelled, try to cast a different school of magic. That's all you gotta know. Alright, keeping it simple. And then Shadowburn, which is actually one of my, like, favorite abilities. It's an instant cast burst. See, I love things that are instant cast, and, like, I feel like most of the time, Warlocks don't have a lot of that. Well, at least that, like, does something, right? You can throw on the dots instantly, but it doesn't do crap till it starts ticking, right? Shadowburn and Death Coil, my other favorite ability, are the exception to that rule and can do some instant damage, some instant burst, right? This is also another instant spell, but that's for another time. So this is the build, guys. We're going to continue on with the guide. We're going to talk a little bit about some of these talents right here, mandatory. Look at all this, Master Demonologist. We kind of talked about it. Pause this video if you want to take a look at what all these things do, but we're going to keep on going. Major Spellstone talks about dispelling, Frost Nova, Polymorph, Doopa-Doopa-Doo, moving on. All right, this is a little bit different. SM Ruin. So this is a PvP spec as well, but this is also a spec you could run for PvE. And if you are broke, like me, then you're probably not going to be able to constantly be changing from a Soul Link spec into a Ruin spec. So this is sort of the middle ground where you could definitely raid with this, okay? Sorry, I'm going up and down. Sorry, I'll stop. All right, so up first we have the Affliction Tree. We've got some favorites from the other build with these two, so we don't have to talk about it. I swear I'm not doing that. Affliction, so Suppression. This is definitely good because Warlocks have problems with their spells getting resisted, I've noticed, in PvE and in PvP, especially with some of the set bonuses that some classes get that increase their resistances. So Suppression's an important talent. Improve Drain Life, get a little bit more from your Drain Life. It's a good talent. Amplify Curse. You're going to need this because I'm telling you guys, if you amplify Curse of Curse of Agony, it's 50% more damage, and like that curse already did a ton of damage, as well as amplifying Curse of Exhaustion, which is pretty cool because it's a ranged slow. I didn't like it at first, guys, but it's pretty fantastic, casting Curse of Exhaustion, especially an amplified Curse of Exhaustion. And my recommendation to you, my friend, is to create a macro that casts Amplify Curse, and then whatever curse you want, and then just always use that macro so you don't even have to have Amplify Curse on your bars, because it is an instant cast, and it does not use a global cooldown, or GCD as the cool kids call it. Not me, of course. Fell Concentration, 2 points in that. Kind of an interesting thing. Basically, if you only have 2 points in this, you're not going to really want to be channeling that much because it's going to be interrupted. If they're on you, try not to use Drain Life, even though you kind of want to because they're hurting you, but it's not going to be super effective. Improve Curse of Agony. That is going to go great with Amplify Curse when you use it. And then Grim Reach, which is super necessary in BGs, because you're going to want to max distance your foes. You're casting spells as far as you can. You're kiting. You don't want people near you. Nightfall, this is pretty much the talent you want, guys. Gives your Corruption and Drain Life spells a chance to give your next Shadow Bolt an instant cast time. So you're just, boom, popping it out like a Death Coil. Like it's a Death Coil, but it's actually not. It's actually a Shadow Bolt. Who would have thought? It's crazy. They have the same model, though, if you haven't noticed. Siphon Life. I love this ability, guys. Siphon Life. This is my favorite, and this is my favorite, but that's a story for another expansion pack. So this is going to transfer health from them to you, which is cool. It's basically a dot version of of Drain Life, so it's fantastic. It's great for PvP. Shadow Mastery, this is going to increase your damage and basically life drained by your shadow spells by 10%. This is not going to affect Immolate or any of your fire spells. FYI, just shadow. Going over to the Destruction Tree. This is a PvE talent, but you know what? It can be used in PvP too. It's basically going to make it so that once you crit with a Shadow Bolt, your next non-periodic damage is going to increase. Shadow non-periodic is going to do 20% more. So that's pretty fantastic if you can pull off consecutive shadow damage, which should be possible. Shadowburn is non-periodic shadow damage. Pop them with a Death Coil, pop them with a Shadowburn, you're going to get some of that improved Shadow Bolt juiciness. Bane, the bane of my existence right here, reducing the cast time of your Shadow Bolt and Immolate spells by 0.5 seconds and Soulfire by 2. I don't think I've ever used Soulfire other than for memes. So, mostly just for Shadow Bolt and Immolate. Devastation, awesome talent. Each point increases your critical strike chance by 1%, totaling up to 5. Destructive Reach. Gotta max distance those people. Gotta max distance, social distance, guys. Korogna. Improve Searing Pain. This is going to increase your critical strike chance of your Searing Pain by 4%. 2 per point. Put 2 points in that. And then Ruin. Increase the critical strike damage bonus of your destruction spells by 100%. Which includes your Death Coil, your Searing Pain, your shadow burn. These are all destruction abilities, and when they crit, they are going to crit, my friend, and do 100% increased damage. Okay, so this is a little explanation about how you know, put corruption on as many targets as possible to increase the chance of proccing Nightfall. Great advice. Great advice, especially in battlegrounds. If you're dueling someone, obviously you can only duel like them and their pet. Personally, I wouldn't even put on their pet because it's a duel and that's going to be over pretty quick if you're putting corruption on their pet. Who does that? Okay, guys, here's the Drakedog spec. This is the 7737. I've not run this particular build yet, but I think I will once I'm geared, because look, it says right here, the spec is only for well-geared players. That's not me, dude. Who am I kidding? All right. But when I want to start doing some burst, this is where I'm going to go. When I'm geared up, I'm ready to go, and I want to blow people up, this is the spec right here. You go improved corruption, improved life tap, great. Demonic embrace, improved health stone, boom, got it. Those are the important stuff. And then every other point is going to go into the destruction tree. You're going to get Cataclysm, Bane, Aftermath. We did not talk about this one yet. Gives your destruction spells a 10% chance to daze the target for 5 seconds. How cool is that, dude? Destruction spells. That is Shadow Bolt, Shadow Burn, Scorch, Immolate. All those spells have a 10% chance to daze the target for 5 seconds. That is the crowd control that this spec needs, because there's no Curse of Exhaustion. You still have Fear, and of course the other Warlock abilities, but awesome. Awesome ability. Devastation we talked about all this stuff. 2 points there. Destructive Reach, Improved Immolate. This is going to increase the initial damage of your Immolate by 25%. Awesome. Pop. It's going to do a lot more. You're going to be impressed with this talent, guys. I'm telling you, 25% is a big number. Ruin we talked about, and now Ember Storm increases the damage done by your fire spells by 10%. Another big number. So that's 25 plus 10. I mean, guys, you are going to blow stuff up. I mean, look at this. This is explosive trap right here. Coming from a hunter. Conflagrate. Ignites a target that is already afflicted by Immolate, dealing 240 to 307 fire damage and consuming the Immolate spell. 10-second cooldown. So basically you want to pop Immolate and then just pop Conflagrate. Conflag. Blow them up. Alright. So for this one, you're going to want to use the Succubus because you're really not using a lot of damage over times. The exception being Immolate. You're basically going to be using fire spells. Immolate, Searing Pain, Soul Fire. Boom! So this is what you do, guys. Ready? This is important. We're going through this. You're going to seduce the target, and your Succubus is going to be stealthed, right? They're going to be seduced. You're going to start casting Soul Fire, and then you're just going to be like, throw it at them, and then it's just going to do a crazy, ridiculous amount of damage if it crits, and then you're going to follow up with an Immolate, and then a Conflagrate, and then a Death Coil, and then a Shadow Burn, and then they're dead. And they're dead. You killed them. Glass Cannon spec. So yeah, you're going to be dead in like 2 seconds, pretty much. Yeah, you're vulnerable to ganks. Rogue pops on you, you're dead. Anyone pop anything, you know, you basically you respawn from the graveyard, you're dead. So yeah. I don't know. I like Soul Link, but this is you got to try it at least once. You got to try it at least once. So with that out of the way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this guide. I'm going to keep making videos. I'm going to keep talking about Warlocks from Classic and in the Burning Crusade when that comes out, because I absolutely love World of Warcraft, and I love talking to you guys about World of Warcraft. So with that being said, that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.